As we all know, we are midway through the circuit breaker. We are already seeing some positive results, but we cannot be complacent, and this is the time now to continue to hunker down and give this a further push. So first, we call on everyone to do their part to minimize movement. Remember, the virus spreads through people, through our contacts with others, and when we go out and touch surfaces, and then our hands touch our faces. Yes, we can take precautions like safe distancing and wearing of masks, but the best way to beat the virus is to stay home. So if you need to go out to buy food, to buy groceries, go out alone. Don't turn this into an occasion for a family outing. And if you need to go out to exercise, exercise alone and in your own neighborhood. Don't travel out to exercise. So we call on everyone to do this because it is the best way to protect yourselves and your family members. Second, we will continue with our efforts to control people movement in popular areas like wet markets and supermarkets. In these areas, we will impose entry restrictions. For example, in certain wet markets, we will only permit entry on alternate days. And we will do this with a system based on your NRIC or your FIN number. Depending on the last digit of that NRIC or FIN number, you will only be permitted entry on odd or even days. So that's one example of a localized entry restriction that we will start with wet markets, and we will do this also in other popular areas like supermarkets in order to thin out the crowds and reduce transmission risk in these areas. Third, we will close more workplaces and also tighten the list of essential services that are permitted. I mentioned this last week, and we are now ready to make this move. This is important because when we analyzed the local infected cases that occurred after the circuit breaker, many of them have been working as part of essential services or have family members who are working, because these are the people who are still out and about. We do need our essential workers. We appreciate their contributions, but we have to reduce the numbers who are working. And that's why we'll make a move to cut back the workforce who still have to commute daily from the current 20% to 15%. And we will do this by making cuts across all sectors of the economy, but also in businesses that are consumer-facing, including in F&B and other services. So this will mean that all of us may face some degradation of services, or we may not be able to access F&B or certain services that we have become accustomed to. And I hope everyone understands why we need to make this important move. So overall, we are seeing results from the circuit breaker, but we cannot let up now. We have to make this strong push to decisively break the transmission chain. The measures that we've just announced will be in place till the 4th of May. Beyond that, we will continue with the circuit breaker for another 4 weeks to 1st of June. Depending on how the situation evolves, we will adjust the measures, and if there are clear improvements in our community transmission numbers, for example, if we see community numbers coming down to single digits, then we can consider gradually easing some of these measures. We have said from the outset that this is a prolonged fight, and we thank all Singaporeans and all residents of Singapore who have risen to the occasion and done their part through this circuit breaker period. Let us all continue to go all out to stamp out the virus and overcome this together.